Alright, we're back out here at the Hutchinson house looking at the cotton plot, and I just went by and checked on germination for all the cotton seeds out here. And as it stands, not much in the way of germination yet. Rows 1 and 2 don't have any signs of germination. There's 2 seeds that have germinated on row 3, and as you just saw right there, I got 1 space on row 4 that has all 4 coming up, and I think there's 3 other seeds that have germinated. So over here on the indigo, not much germination either. I think there were 3 spaces of Carolina and 3 spaces of Guatemalan that had come up. And I believe this, never grown indigo before, so I'm not entirely sure what the seedlings look like, but I believe that is our indigo. Because when I go down over here to the next one, I can see one of them poking up right there. Right here. And it seems to me that it looks like it's coming out of one of the seeds I planted. The coat that's still stuck to it. And 2 of the ones for the Guatemalan are down here on this end. So, seedlings look the same, so I'm suspecting it's indigo since it's over here at... Because there's seedlings that I haven't seen on any of these other spaces or in the weeds over here, coming up on 2 places where I planted indigo. I have not gone over here and checked on whether or not I have any new buds. But as you can see, cotton is coming in pretty good. That one's nice and full, nice and fluffy. Don't know if it's going to revert back to a wild type when it regenerates from a ratoon. We'll find out about that. I did go through and check for buds last week, though, right after I planted, and I think I've got probably 30-something, close to 40 plants regenerating. So I'm not going to replant. I'm just going to let these come back. I check for signs of life, because as you can tell, there's... Let's see if you can see that. See this little lip right here? Right there? Well, the plant is live right here, and it's dead right here. It's killed off this part. But the plant's still alive, which means the roots are still alive, which means it can still bud out. And, you can see that down here. You see this sort of buttress they have, and there's a little bud coming out. So I'm not going to replant these. I'm just going to let them come back. We'll see how that does. We'll see what these look like. Over here in the trap crops, we've got mixed results. Down here you can see the alyssum is coming up nicely. That's a garden plant, so I expected them to come up. Butterfly weed's not up. These take forever, and if they weren't cold stratified, they won't come up until next year. Rudbeckia is not up. Didn't expect it to come up. None of the dill is up. I didn't expect that to be up either. I have really poor success with direct sowing dill and having it come up. None of the herbs are up. None of the parsley's up. Didn't expect the parsley to come up. Herbs were a crapshoot, but I would have expected them not to come up over coming up. We've got patchy results over here in the zinnias. I forget where I put the expensive So Easy ones. They're either here or here, but as you can see, I've got them coming up over here where I spaced them out. I think these were the So Easies, because I'm pretty sure I put those in patches, but they're coming up pretty good. But there's just a big gap from about there all the way to there where nothing's come up. And those are those old ones in the blue package. They're probably like 3 years old. I never had good luck. Those never had good germination rates for me to begin with, so I'm not really surprised. But I don't remember what these are. These might be those botanical interest ones. I know I put the real big one over there, and I know I did. Maybe botanical interest was there. This might have been that other packet I bought this year. But these are certainly coming up, and this is when I was just spreading them, and you see how thick they came up. And I got wise, and that's why I ran out so quick. But a lot of those are coming up. So we have zinnias. Let's go just look at the nightshades, the okra, and then the sunflowers. And as could be expected, The nightshades are up, eggplant's not up, peppers aren't up, tomatoes aren't up. I don't expect the tomatoes to come up. I'm not sure about eggplants. I don't really have much experience growing them from seed. I know these peppers are going to take at least 2-3 weeks to come up because they just germinate late. Over here in the okra, you can see a little okra coming up. They look a lot like a baby cotton plant. And I've only have one coming up. And of course it's the last one. Well, second to last. None of these other ones are coming up. Which brings us over to the sunflowers. And with the sunflowers, it's more the same. So I think I have 2 coming up. There's one. There's one sunflower. And I forget where it was. But there's another one somewhere over here that's also coming up. None of these dwarf ones have come up. 2 of the big ones came up. Those were the so easy ones. Those don't have, they've had the seed holes removed. There it is. Walked right by it. Yeah, I really like that seed coating that So Easy does. Have had a lot of success with their seeds. It's usually worth the money, especially with especially with seeds that go a long way. Like vegetables, it's not really worth it, but wildflowers, it's usually worth the extra, like double the price for a pack of seeds. Sometimes it's only 50%. But anyway, field peas, patchy results, but really good germination all around. See, they're bursting on out, and they look like a little pea there. Deer love those, so I'm interested to see how hard they hammer them. There's already saw deer tracks over there. There's cat prints all over the plastic too. I'm not worried about the cats. I don't think the cat's going to eat anything. Well, they might. Yeah. Really good germination on the peas in little patchy spots. And then it just sort of goes bare. There's a couple. Then I've got this nice little strip right here. A lot of peas coming up. See all that earth getting broke up? Peas all over the place. I'm really banking on those peas. They're a cover crop, so they'll get up quick and they'll swallow up these weeds. And that'll help keep them out of getting into the interior. And if this stuff doesn't do, I'll come back and plant more peas. They'll come out. They love heat, so they'll come up later. Alright, yeah. That's it. Still slow. It's only been 7 days. So, I didn't really see maximum germination last year until 21 days. So I'm not worried. I'm also not worried because I know the seeds are viable. I know that because cue in me splicing in footage from the experimental farm plot. Alright, we're out here at the experimental ag site, and good news, it's been 7 days. It's April 17th now, and we have awesome amounts of cotton coming up. 84% of the 70 spaces have been filled, and we're looking at a 41% germination rate. What's interesting to note is that the germination rate for each plant is different, and I find that remarkable. Like this one right here that we're looking at, 49C, it's probably got the lowest germination rate. Oh, look, deer tracks. Which may also have to do with the site. I'm heading up in elevation right now, so it's wetter towards 49C, and it's drier towards 12B. Over here at 44D, once again, keep coming back to 44D, it's got the best germination rate. It's probably close to 70% already. And pretty much all the plants for 44D look healthy when they're not being covered up by plastic. Some of them look a bit yellow, but that's how they look when they're stuck in the soil for too long. It rained like the dickens here. Oh, look at that. There's a problem, is fire ants, and they're all over the place. There's like three mounds under the plastic. They're just tearing it up. I don't know if I want to kill them or not. The thing with fire ants is they will always come back. You can't really get rid of them. They've already done their damage, so if I leave them, they're not going to get any bigger, and they're not going to move to any of the other holes. If I kill them, fire ants don't take over old nests, they build new nests. So if I kill these guys and one comes from over there out of the side of the field, you know, they're probably going to go over there and they're going to kill more cotton. So wherever these fire ant nests pop up, it seems to be that they kill all the germinating seedlings. Then as they expand, whatever's there can linger for a bit, but I'm sure that one's going to die too. But yeah, so far good results. Leaving the lint on, only a few plants were trapped inside of their seed coats, maybe only 5, which is pretty good for about 200 something seeds I planted. See, there's one that was caught in its seed coat. I just pulled the thing off. So yeah, we're looking good out here. Hopefully we'll have some nice sized plants pretty soon. It rained like the dickens here. 2 days this week, 2 massive thunderstorms, so that was awesome. That's just what these seeds needed, and it was nice and hot too. It's been cool the last 3 days. Like, it's been down in the 60s in the morning, but it's warming up again. So yeah, as you saw from that, 4,4-D is killing it, and that trend continues here. It's got 7 seeds up. You know, 4,8-C only has 2, and nothing out of 3,11-D, 3,11-D, 4,9-C, or 4,6-C yet. So there's some magic in there with 4,4-D. It's special. I can smell it, and that's favoritism, and that's a bias, and I know it, and I don't care. They didn't select seeds based off of rigorous scientific methods beforehand. I'm probably more rigorous than most of the planters were. You know, I'm just a sentimental person. I want 4,4-D to succeed. But yeah, I crunched the numbers at the farm. Oh boy, it had 76% germination rate. The average was 41% for all 70 of those plants, all 210 of those seeds across that row. So that's pretty crazy. 76%, damn, that is more than double average, which means that the other ones have to be less, because that would have raised the average. You know, having that 76 in there. I think 4,8-C was also pretty good. So, yeah, which would make sense if it's doing good here. I'll have to look at those numbers again. But yeah, I'm going to go check on these, look for more ratoons, look for more broken buds. And I'll get back to you, guess in our week. Alright, I got one more little experimental plot I'm doing this year. And I don't expect these to survive. I don't plan on them surviving. I don't really want them to survive. But I'm doing this to experiment with germination rates of the rejected seeds. So at this plot, the seeds I've planted are those that came from the selections I did for both the farm plot and the Hutchinson house. And these are the seeds that I picked out as being not good enough. They were a little dried out. They were a little brown. They did not look fully mature. And as you can see, I've got 2 that are coming up here. I probably planted about 70 here. I wasn't really thinking about this formally as an experiment initially, so I didn't really count how many, but it was about 70. And down over here, see another one coming up there. That might be one. I'm not sure. There's another little one coming up there. And I've just got these planted with field peas. There's another one right there. And I threw out all of the extra indigo chaff. There's 2 right there. When I was sorting through the indigo, it produced a lot of chaff. I had to break the seed pods to get the seeds out. And I just dumped all the chaff out in here on this line of field peas. So the field peas are what I'm actually trying to grow in this plot. There's another cotton coming up right there. I want the field peas to come up so that they can produce organic matter so I can use this as a garden bed. There's another cotton down there. So if the cotton comes up, the cotton comes up. If not, it doesn't matter. I don't intend for this to produce
There's a cottonseed sitting on the surface. As you can tell, it's got that two-tone color to it. That's what I was rejecting out.
I did not want any of the seeds that were multicolored, because to me that indicated they were immature. So I'm actually kind of impressed with how much has come up. The soil here is not good. It is terrible soil, which is why I have all this crap piled up. So I'm trying to improve this soil with the use of excessive fertilizers and excessive amounts of really rough organic matter, as well as all these field peas for nitrogen and to add bulk organic matter to the soil. So the cotton was just sort of a last minute addition because I was going to throw the seeds out, so might as well stick them in the ground, see if they come up. I don't really want them to produce, but we'll see. Well, I don't know how well you can hear this with all the hammering and two-stroke go-kart noises in the background, but I just ran into a surprise. Also the wind noise. I think you're going to be able to make it out. But there's a chickadee nest inside of that post. I just saw a bird fly out of there, and then I heard little baby birds cheeping. So that's kind of crazy. You wouldn't think, that would be a good nest, but I guess it is. I guess I'll have to remember not to kick that post. Anyway, back out here at the cotton plot to check on germination rates. And I'm liking the way that looks, just walking up here. So it's 4:20 today. It's been 3 days since the last time I checked. Well, 2.5 days. And the ratoons are taking off too. So yeah, let's see what this is. There she is. There she went, right into the post. Alright, we have a mystery. These are those same 4 plants I started the last video clip on, and 2 of them are just gone, just missing, which is odd. There's absolutely no sign of them. There's no stem, there's no leaf, there's no nothing. They just poofed. Which is very odd because, I have some over here, like this one, where, a cutworm got it and ate the tip off or something. And, there's still a stem there. There's still evidence. And, I've probably got a half dozen like that. So that's spooky. Right? I haven't crunched the numbers yet, but I think it's somewhere upwards of 60% average, which is really good. 4,4-D is no longer the leader. It is tied with 4,8-C as the plant with the most germinations at the Hutchinson house. Both of them have had 38 out of 48 come up. Overall, really good, really fast. This has only been 10 days. I was just barely having my first seeds come up in 10 days last year. So that's much better. And over here on the ratoons, you can see they're taking off like weeds. So that's great. I don't know what I'm going to do about training them. I guess I'm going to have to, decide on the stem and trim it down to just that. Or maybe I'll let them bush out. We'll see. Over here on the indigo, I'm pretty sure what I was seeing before is not indigo, except for the stuff that I was seeing over here on row 1. However, or on the Caroline indigo. However, I'm not seeing any of that now. I've found practically nothing on the Carolina indigo. Maybe something down, maybe that thing. But that's the sort of thing I was seeing last time, and I'm not sure that's indigo anymore. However, here on the Guatemalan indigo, all the way down the last 2 spaces, that looks like indigo to me. I'm confident that's indigo, and that's indigo, and that's indigo. That little guy trying to peek out down there is indigo, and those are indigos. And there's like one more right there. So like this whole end is coming up in Guatemalan indigo. So let's transition on over to the trap crops. As you can see, got sunflowers coming up, and the dwarf sunflowers are starting to come up. They're actually coming up better than the larger ones were. So that's good to see. Still no dill. Still no parsley as far as I saw. I didn't really check on it. I've not checked on the mixed herbs yet either, but I'm not seeing any of them coming up. Pretty much all the zinnias are coming up now, so those seeds weren't bad, they were just old. Need a little extra rehydration time. Oh, it rained like an absolute son of a gun, even more than before, just yesterday. You can see the zinnias are coming up. And over here, none of the eggplants come up, none of the peppers have come up. However, the tomatoes are coming up. I think there's another one. There's another one. None right there. But there's some more. And there's a couple more right there. So pretty much all of the tomato seeds have come up. That's kind of surprising. Oh, and the okra's starting to come up as well. It's pretty patchy. There's one every 2 foot or so coming up. You get a little patch like that. That's sickle pod. That's sickle pod. That's okra. So maybe a quarter at best of the okras come up. The lissom's still up. The butterfly weed hadn't come up. The red Becky hasn't come up. Like I said, none of the dill came up. However, all the field peas came up. I don't think but maybe a dozen out of the 900 I put in the ground didn't come up. So that's good to see. I definitely know I can rely on them as a replacement for anything that isn't coming up. Something came over and ate on these though. Look at them. It's probably deer. Yep, another little patch. Hopefully the deer don't hammer them too hard. I don't want to put up another deer fence. So yeah, that's the current status. Really good germination, probably 60-65%. 2/3 of them have come up. Ratoons are ratooning. I checked, I have 41 plants that are still alive. 5 of them look dead. I think about 15 of them are still dormant. 17 are putting out buds and 9 have leaves on them. I guess I'm gonna go check on the farm plot, see if it's at, 90% germination rate. We're here at the ag plot, and germination has improved a good bit. Not a crazy amount, not like at the Hutchinson house. So we've already seen the first wave here, clearly. I think it was 56 before. I think it's probably up into about the same as Hutchinson house. Might be up to 70%. 4,4-D is now up to 85% germination rate here. 4,8-C was 81. So that's better than last year, so I'm calling that a success. Definitely not a crop failure. But just like at the Hutchinson house, the ones that were struggling to come up before are still struggling to come up. Till next time, I'm out.